Hello and welcome to episode 69 of the Bearded Banter Podcast, the gaming podcast where... Nice! I am your host, the Bearded One, and as you can see, very light podcast crew today. It's just me and my boy Josh. Josh, how are you doing today?
Dude, we had the greatest fucking number ever.
I know, ironic that it's just the two of us for the pristine number.
This is like the greatest number of time. Hello, I'm Josh. I'm the other podcast host for today. Here to talk about games.
Video games.
Video games. Well, I myself am watching anime.
Yeah. So as you can see, it's just Josh and I today. My normal co-host Matt is away in Ohio, so he couldn't make it. And
because he's a bitch.
And our other co-host Spencer, I believe, is working. So fuck that guy.
A bitch.
So it's just the two of us today. So we're probably going to have a pretty light podcast. If you're not familiar with our podcast format, we usually start with some general gaming discussion, talk about what we've been playing recently, and then we transition right into news, which there's not a whole lot of big news this week. So I think this is going to be a pretty short one, son.
Yeah.
Where are you?
I'm at my dad's.
No, like, you sounded like you were, like, across the room.
Really?
Yeah.
My phone is, like, right on my chest.
Well, stop muffling the phone.
I'm not muffling the phone. Is this better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, there.
Okay, well... Now that all the tomfoolery is out of the way, I think we can get started. So let's have some general gaming discussion. Son, what have you been playing lately in terms of video games?
You see, people, I have been playing a little-known game called Jack and Shit. It's I've been playing two games that make me hate myself every day. I've been playing Team Fortress 2. Which is pretty fun, and I don't hate myself that much. And then I play RuneScape, where I really hate myself.
RuneScape is... I've never played RuneScape, but from everything I've heard, it's the game where you basically want to die. Constantly.
Do you like grinding? Well, that's all the entire game is just grinding.
Yeah.
Someone and suffering.
Yeah, do you like standard RPG grinding? Because, oh boy, we got a treat for you.
Take this, make it about 50 times worse, and that's old school RuneScape for you, but I still play it.
Interesting.
And then, I'm playing some Hyrule Warriors here and there. Really fun game.
You got that for your Switch lately.
If you like Dynasty Warriors, and you really like the Legend of Zelda universe, great game to play. If you're just a general fan of hack and slash games too, fun game. I mean, honestly, like, every Dynasty Warriors game is kind of the same, but they're all quality, so you can't really go wrong. Oh, definitely. Super Smash Brothers has been pretty cool.
Yeah, because Joker.
Just like my life. Am I right, lads, or am I right?
Yeah, because Joker isn't... as hot as he was when he first came out, but people are still talking about him here and there.
Honestly, though, apart from that, I really just haven't been playing much. Just been kind of having a dry streak.
I mean,
we'll get back in there.
We'll
try and get
same,
back into Neptune.
Son.
I'm trying to get back into Neptune. We'll see if I can't replay all the games again. But it's just one of those times where you just like... I always find myself going back to TF2 or RuneScape.
You know, it's important to have your go-to games. As for me, I have also been playing a total of Jack and Shit. The one big game that I played recently, which is just the other day, I finally played the original Devil May Cry for the first time.
You mean Resident Evil 4?
Yeah. If you want to see that, I made a video about it. It's already up on the channel. Go watch it. It'll probably be in the end card. Yeah, I finally played the original DMC for the first time.
How was DMC?
It's weird because it's half what I expected and half not. Like, the half that I did expect it to be was that it's basically just a slower, clunkier, simpler version of the DMC games that I'm used to playing. Because I played 3, 4, 5 in the reboot. So it's basically that, just stripped down to its core elements. Which, of course, first game in the series is what you expect. You expect it to get more complex as it goes.
When it did come out, it was very, very innovative for its time.
Mm-hmm. That being said,
game.
Yeah. That being said, as I was gonna say, it's a great game. I really dig the combat because it's basically just what I'm used to, just simpler. And honestly, I kind of dig that because not every action game has to have this big, robust, over-the-top combat system to be good. Sometimes if you just play true to like the core mechanics, it can be just as good as some of the flashier ones. What I was not expecting was how puzzle adventure oriented it is. Like, playing that for the first time, I could 100% feel the Resident Evil influence in there. This absolutely was a Resident Evil game at some point.
It was originally Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. But then it was too radically different, so Capcom changed it into a completely new thing, which became Devil May Cry. And you can definitely tell, like, the fixed camera angles, the movement speed, the puzzle adventure aspects to the gameplay. Like, it's totally Resident Evil. And I honestly... Go ahead.
If that's what Resident Evil turned out to be, I think it would be a very different franchise than it is now.
Yeah. But I knew there was going to be some of that going in, but I wasn't expecting it to be so heavily oriented like that, because there was so much of the puzzle mechanics and the adventure stuff, just exploring the castle, figuring out where to go. You have your old school Resident Evil map with like the different floors of the castle. It's completely open-ended. Like, I knew that was going to be there, but I wasn't expecting so much of that to be there. And honestly, I don't know why, but it caught me off guard.
Did it hamper your experience? Or
no,
did it make
no, absolutely not. I'm more a fan of the combat than anything. I do like the level design, and I do like how many puzzles there are. The one thing I don't like about it is how confusing it can be, which I can't hold it against the game itself. It's just a product of its time. It's just because I was lost in that fucking game. There's a ton of footage that I cut out of that video, just me wandering around trying to find out where to go or what to do. But again, it was a game from 2001, so what do you expect?
Yeah.
It's not going to be the most robust, polished thing, but for what it is, I really enjoyed it, and I'm definitely going to be playing more of it.
Good.
Other than that, total of jack and shit.
Yeah, honestly, it's just I've been more busy watching anime than playing games.
Same.
And when I do play games, I'm just like,
why am I playing video games?
The problem is, especially, I'm starting to get back on a drag streak with anime too. So it's like, I just laid there on my bed. I'm like, why bother?
Burnout is real, folks. It can hit you at any time.
I deal with burnout a lot when it comes to anime, as you guys already know.
Yeah, we watch so much stuff. Like, it's hard not to feel burnt out after a while.
Yeah.
But, like I said, this is probably going to be a very short podcast, because that was a quick and easy game discussion.
Oh, yeah.
If there isn't anything else that you want to mention, we can go right into the news.
Yeah, play some Minecraft, but that's their normal.
All right, let's go right into the news then.
Let's get right to the news.
All right, news section. Here we go. I think we should get this one out of the way, because technically it's not video game news, but it is video game related. So I want to briefly mention it. We've known for a while that there was a Sonic the Hedgehog movie in production. For months and months, we've been seeing nonstop leaks of different character designs for Sonic. All of them look horrendous. But finally, this past week, we got our first official trailer and
it was garbage.
Yeah, let's start with you. So you have seen the trailer, right, son?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was hot garbage.
Oh, please, tell us more.
I felt my hand itching for a gun to put myself out of my misery.
That pretty much sums it up.
They didn't even use the best voice actor for Sonic. Let's get that out of the way. Sonic Adventure, man. That was the best voice.
I mean, I don't hate the voice. Like, sure, it could be better, but for what it is, it's pretty good. I agree, though, that they very...
It's like they took all the good CG and gave it to Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
And they just looked at Sonic and were like, eh. And basically, it's horrifying.
They were like, oh, what the fuck is this fucking Hedgehog thing? Just half-ass it. Just, who cares?
And why do they have to put dumbass modern music with that song?
I don't know about you, but the last song I would expect to play in a Sonic movie would be Gangster's Paradise.
Yeah, I was just saying, I was like, why is it? Why?
And seeing as how all the YouTube peoples are getting content claimed because the song is in the trailer.
They couldn't have just gone to Crunch 40 and be like, yo, my boys, let's do this.
Honestly, they could have put anything from any of the games. Like, they could have put Open Your Heart, Live and Learn, like, something that is at least akin to Sonic. Not Gangster's Paradise.
And there's people online trying to defend it. They're like, oh, it's such a good fit for him. Like, no, it's not.
What the hell? What kind of crack are these people smoking?
You're a fucking retard.
So, you can already tell how we feel about this trailer. It was not good at all.
And if you want more news on how bad it is,
I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get to that, son. Don't worry. Don't worry. Yeah, I was planning on mentioning that.
It's. Have you seen the Mario Brothers movie? It's worse than that, man.
Oh yeah, it's up there. But I can say there's only two things I liked about that trailer. The one at the very end, the final Eggman reveal, that looks like Dr. Robotnik. I will give them that. And the second one is there's a scene where Sonic is fighting a bunch of robots on a skyscraper, and I actually kind of like that scene.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that feels like Sonic.
Yeah, that feels like something Sonic would do, so I'm okay with that. Everything else is crap. It just looks like bog standard, generic video game movie trash.
Yeah.
And people were not happy about it. Immediately as soon as the trailer dropped, the internet fucking exploded. And it got so bad that we got word last night of some last-minute changes. Here, let me find the tweet in question. Because last night, Jeff Fowler, who is the director of the Sonic movie, tweeted out this, quote, "Thank you for the support and the criticism. The message is loud and clear. You aren't happy with the design and you want changes. It's going to happen. Everyone at Paramount and Sega are fully committed to making this character the best he can be." How much they can change in such a short time frame is questionable, but at least they're taking criticism in mind.
Like, even if they just change the model for Sonic to be more fitting, it would be so much better.
Yeah, like, if you change Sonic's look to make him look more like what Sonic actually is, the movie's like 10 times better. Sure, it'll probably still be crap, but at least there's that. At least you don't have to look at a mutant child on screen.
A mutant child learning what a furry fetish is.
Yeah. So yeah, that's nice to know that they're taking the criticism seriously. But again, this movie is 6 months from release, so how much they can realistically change in that time frame and still make the deadline is
beyond
questionable, to put it lightly. But I just wanted to...
My question is, why didn't Sega say anything about, like, model? They could have been like, yeah, no.
From what I've heard, Sega was barely involved in any of this, so...
This makes me even more worried.
And if 6 months from release, they waited until the first trailer dropped to start taking criticism in mind and actually change things, why didn't they just make a better design from the get-go? Like, yeah. This completely feels 100% like damage control. Like, they're backpedaling, trying to save this thing. And whether or not it'll work, who knows? If they actually are going through with this and actually changing Sonic's design, I guess we'll have to see what he'll look like in the final product. But, yeah.
We can only hope for the best.
Yeah, and it's probably not going to turn out great at all, but who knows? Maybe they'll prove us wrong and it'll be the best fucking goddamn movie ever made.
I highly doubt that.
Go in with lowered expectations.
Oh, everyone's going in with like zero expectations, dude. Everyone's going to see this movie to fucking laugh at it. So
basically.
So with that out of the way, let's get to the actual news. Super light. There hasn't been a whole lot of big news in the gaming industry the past few weeks. I just grabbed what I thought was big and or interesting. Let's get the little shit out of the way. I grabbed a piece of news for each of us to cater to either me or Josh. Not something super important, but something that we would enjoy. So let's start with the piece that I grabbed for myself. Okay. I am a big fan of Dragon Ball, as everyone knows, and they announced even more DLC for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. So
really?
Yeah, let's read this.
How old is the game now?
Excuse me, what would you say?
How old is the game now?
It's gonna be 3 years in October, and they keep adding DLC.
That's not that old then.
No, but let's read the article. A new set of screenshots for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 offer a first look at Super Saiyan God Vegeta. Super Saiyan God Vegeta will join the roster in June with the release of Ultra Pack 1. Bandai Namco also revealed that it will be adding new content to the game's online mode as part of the next update. That's literally it. That's the whole story.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting because Super Saiyan God Vegeta is something that, at least in the anime, was only introduced in the Broly movie, and that's not even 6 months old yet. So it's interesting to see them add him. What's more interesting to me is how much more DLC do they plan on adding to this fucking game? Like, they've added so much DLC, and they just keep going. Like, they had the original 4 packs. Jesus Christ. They had the original 4 packs, and then they had basically a second season pass, which added 4 extra packs to the game. And now they're adding even more with the first of these ultra packs, and who knows how many of those are going to be there. Like,
too much.
They just keep adding so much DLC, and I honestly, at this point, don't know what characters they're going to add, because all of the new characters that they introduced in the Broly movie are now in the game. God Vegeta, Broly, and Blue Gogeta. They're all in the game already. So I don't know who else they would add. Maybe some characters from Super that they never touched on. Maybe some older characters from like OG Dragon Ball. At this point, I have no clue. But I just threw that in there because, hey, I like Dragon Ball. It's super not important, but I decided to put it in there. Just as I decided to put this in here for you, son. This is totally a Josh story.
Oh boy.
So, I heard you like Neptune.
Is this relating to Super Neptunia RPG?
It is.
Oh, what's the news? Oh, is it talking about how Sony liked to censor it?
No.
Oh.
Super Neptunia RPG release date revealed.
June 20th.
Yep. Let's read the article. Idea Factory International has announced that Super Neptunia RPG will be available on PC on June 20th, with a PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch release to follow on June 25th. The publisher also announced that Calm down, son. Let me finish the article first. The publisher also announced that the PC version of the game will be discounted by 20% during its launch week, and a deluxe pack will be available at launch that also has a 20% launch week discount. The deluxe pack includes a character art collection, background art collection, rough art collection, PC wallpapers, mobile wallpapers, and a copy of the soundtrack. Super Neptunia RPG is a 2D side-scroller being developed by Artisan Studios that is set in a version of game industry where 2D games reign supreme. Neptune wakes up with no memory other than her name and must go on a journey to regain her lost memories. So yeah, I totally threw that in there for you, so go nuts.
So that makes me happy. The biggest thing is Neptune games on PC always come out about 6 months to a year after they release on console.
Well, now it's launching first, before the console version.
So the fact that they're releasing it first with the 20% discount really makes me happy. I was originally going to buy it on Switch.
Yeah, but why would you at this point?
Yeah.
Because it comes out on PC first, and you get it 20% off, so...
Yeah, like, this is really cool news. And if you didn't know, this is a first Neptune game produced out of Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it's Canadian.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I did not know that.
It's a studio made in Quebec.
Oh, of course it's Quebec.
But the game does look really nice. If you haven't seen the artwork, it's pretty cool. It reminds me of a lot of old 2D RPG games.
Yeah, like I saw... In the article, there were a couple screenshots. It totally reminds me of, like, old-school Final Fantasy games.
Yes, and I'm trying to remember the one game that EA did where it was just like this.
Child of Light?
Yes, it reminds me a lot of Child of Light.
Well, that wasn't EA. That was Ubisoft, so...
And it was a really beautiful game.
Yes, it was.
Well, that's some cool news.
Yeah, I totally threw that in there for you because I don't give two craps about Neptune. But I figured since you were going to be on the show, you might want to hear about that.
Because if people don't know, I own every single Neptune game.
Yeah, Josh is like Josh has a hard-on for Neptune.
Oh, absolutely.
And the fact that I don't expect this to be a full price game either, plus the 20% launch week discount. Like that's actually pretty good. Yeah, so it's a discount title to begin with, and then you get 20% off of that. Like, that's pretty good.
Yep. Oh, that's pretty awesome. They usually do that too. I got V2R for $45. So people who like Neptune, great news.
Yeah, great news for them. Moving on. For a while, we've known that Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, the spiritual successor to the Castlevania series, was coming out. And after numerous delays, we finally get a confirmed release date. Let's read the article. 505 Games and Artplay have revealed that Bloodstained Ritual of the Night will be coming to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC, and Nintendo Switch in June. PS4, Xbox One, and PC will be getting the game first on June 18th, with a Nintendo Switch release arriving a few days later on June 25th. Following this will be a retail release for the PS4 and Xbox One on June 21st, and for the Nintendo Switch on June 28th. In addition to announcing the release date, 505 Games also shared a new trailer for the game that compares the old art style with the new one across various scenes. Bloodstained is set in 18th century England and puts players in the role of Miriam, an orphan scarred by an alchemist curse. Miriam must fight through a demon-infested castle to save both humanity and herself. So for Castlevania fans, this is great news because this game has been in development for years, and we finally know that it's coming at the end of June. That's pretty exciting. I did watch the... Go ahead.
Let's hope it's not Mighty Number 9 all over again.
You know, there's always the chance that it might be, but I have high hopes for this. I watched the trailer that they released, comparing the old art style to the new, and this game looks completely different. Like, they reworked everything.
What is the game called? I'll see if it's on the Steam store yet.
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Oh, there it is. And... I can definitely see what you mean by it's a Metroidvania game.
Yeah, it's absolutely a Metroidvania. It's more in the style of the more modern 2D Castlevania games, like the ones that were released on handheld.
So something like Symphony of the Night, kind of.
Symphony of the Night, I don't remember any of the fucking names, because Castlevania games always have crazy fucking names.
I also prefer the classic ones anyways.
Yeah. It's totally in the vein of the Metroidvania style games that came out for like the Game Boy Advance and the DS.
the PSP and
things
stuff like that.
Harmony of Dissonance, Aria of Sorrow, Lament of Innocence. Yeah, things like it's totally in the style of those kinds of games.
Yeah.
And Castlevania fans have been waiting for a while, but we finally got a release date. That's cool. And like I said earlier, I watched the trailer. They completely reworked the art style. It looks completely different than it used to. So that's interesting. But again, we'll see more when the game finally comes out at the end of June. Moving on. This story caught me off guard. And I was more confused than anything, so I thought I would throw this in here. Are you familiar with Rocket League, son?
Yes, I am.
Well, did you know that the developer Psyonix was just recently acquired by Epic Games?
Kill me.
Let's read the article. Rocket League developer Psyonix has announced that it is being acquired by Fortnite developer Epic Games. The acquisition is expected to be completed near the end of May to early June 2019, and in the short term will have little to no impact on players, with Psyonix announcing plans to continue supporting Rocket League with new features and content. In the long term, we expect to bring Rocket League to the Epic Games Store and to leverage our new relationship to grow the game in ways we couldn't do on our own before, Psyonix added. We believe that bringing Rocket League to new audiences with more support is a win for everybody. Many players have voiced concerns that the move to the Epic Games Store means the game will be removed from Steam. The developer has since stated that Rocket League is and remains available on Steam, and current players can look forward to continued support.
Yeah, no one's going to buy it on the Epic Game Stores. Just putting that out there now.
Now, see, here's the thing. I'm not a PC gamer, so when I hear things about Steam versus the Epic Store, I literally don't give a shit. So this is all you, buddy.
This is all me. As people know, the Epic Game Store has been extremely aggressive lately in trying to get as many exclusives as they can, which I understand. Trying to build competition is a good thing. However, when you already have a fully developed, competent game launcher and hub for stuff like this, it's just kind of pointless and ruins the whole point of Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Steam's been around for 16 years. It's had all that time to develop. And it just annoys me sometimes.
Yeah, but it's the same thing that happened with things like Origin. Like, this is the same kind of ordeal as that.
Because here's the thing, I don't think anything will ever beat out Steam.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a pain in the ass.
Well, yeah, I highly doubt that anyone's going to beat Steam anytime soon. Again, I'm not a PC gamer, so I really have nothing to add to the conversation there.
Yeah.
But hey, if this means that Psyonix can make their games bigger and better and they can add more stuff, then I'm all for it. And as they said, it's not being removed from Steam. It is still available, and they will continue to update that version. So at least they're not going fully exclusive.
No, well, I think a lot of people would be very mad at them if they did.
Yeah. It's like the Borderlands fiasco all over again.
Oh, my God, don't get me started with that, man.
But yeah, that totally caught me off guard, so I thought I would throw that in there because it's actually a pretty interesting story, all things considered. Moving on, speaking of PC gaming, son, we got more PC stories to cover.
Oh boy.
So we found out a while ago that Microsoft and 343 plan on bringing the Master Chief Collection to PC.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
I wait eagerly for that release.
Yeah, so they're bringing the entirety of the Halo series over to PC in the Master Chief Collection. Apparently, there was some sort of test planned for the PC version, sort of like a beta to test out servers and different things like that. It has been confirmed, though, that the Master Chief Collection PC test has been delayed. So let's read the article. Earlier this month, Halo community director Brian Gerard said in a tweet that if all goes according to plan, then the first beta test for Halo the Master Chief Collection's PC release would be happening in the month of April. In an update today, posted, I believe, April 30th? Yes. In an update today, April 30th, he confirmed that is no longer the case. In a post over on Halo Waypoint, Gerard stated that hitting the quality demanded by fans is turning out to be more challenging than first anticipated in some aspects, and so the decision has been taken to push back the test to a later date. I know excitement and anticipation is off the charts, and everyone here inside the studio shares it as well, he wrote. But this is a really complicated project, and we all agree that quality trumps everything else, and we need to bring Master Chief Collection to PC at the bar Halo fans and PC players expect and demand. That's turning out to be more challenging than first anticipated in some aspects, while there's been great progress and work done in plenty of other areas. Gerard didn't share a new time frame for the test, but he added that the 343 publishing team and its partners at Ruffian and Splash Damage are working hard to get all the pieces in place to support fighting as soon as possible. As previously announced, the Master Chief Collection will be rolled out one game at a time on PC, starting with Halo Reach. That will then be followed by PC releases for Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, and 4. So yeah, that's interesting.
You know what? I don't mind that at all.
I mean, if it means that it's going to be better quality, then sure, delay it all you want.
They're just delaying it. If they were delaying it just because, that would be a different story. But the fact that they're delaying it because they know they want the game to be perfect, is completely fine with me.
Yeah, like, always strive to have the best quality possible in your games, and if that requires you pushing back a release date, then go for it. No one's going to... Okay, some people are going to complain, but no one's going to blame you for that.
Some dumb people will complain, but a lot of people will be happy that they're putting it. They know this is going to be huge, and they want it to be perfect. Like, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because nothing more annoying on PC, because this happens all the time, is we get terrible ports, and it just ruins the entire game.
Yeah, for some reason, PC ports in the last 5-6 years or so don't have the best track record. A lot of PC ports are just rushed out the door, and they are horribly optimized and glitchy as fuck. So, the fact that they basically came out and said, hey, we want this to be quality, so we're going to push it back to make it the best quality we can possibly have. That's a good sign, and I very much appreciate that, too. This shows that this isn't a rush job. They're actually taking their time with it. My question, though, is... Go ahead, son. Go ahead.
I was going to say, no, this has a chance of being Game of the Year.
I mean, it is a re-release, so...
I don't care if it is. It's Game of the Year for me, man.
My question, though, is if they're pushing the test back because they're doing quality control, what does that mean for the full release? Like, are they having issues optimizing it to begin with? That's my question.
So what I can imagine is... porting the game over obviously will be a challenge. You have to optimize it. You have to port it over. You have to set the controls and everything. Graphics, there can be a lot of errors if trying to port over. So I'm sure they're just trying to fix out a lot of the bugs because obviously it's a completely different platform. There's going to be a lot of unexpected bugs fixed out.
Yeah.
This isn't some just toss it over to the new thing and it'll be all set. This is. Honestly, they're probably working from the ground up on this.
Yeah.
Developing the engine all over again for PC, so it's going to take some time.
Yeah. I just hope that the actual final release isn't affected too much by this. I hope that development is at least going smoothly.
Yeah.
But moving on, let's move on to some Sony news. We covered on the last podcast, which you were not here for, that Sony
like titties.
Yeah. Sony revealed the first details of the PS5. We now have a follow-up article. Sony has confirmed that the PS5 will not launch before April 2020. So let's read the article. Sony has confirmed that the PlayStation 5 will not be released before April 2020. As part of its end-of-year financial results, Sony stated that it will not be releasing its next-gen console in the next 12 months. This confirmation follows on from lead system architect Mark Cerny sharing the first official details about the upcoming console, which was the article that we covered in the last podcast. Have you heard about these details, son?
Oh, absolutely. About the PS5? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
AMD is working on the graphics card, so I kind of just took a look on it, and I was like, It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, they got 3rd generation Ryzen chips. They got a Radeon Navi GPU. It's got a solid state drive. It sounded pretty impressive when we covered it last time. But we now have confirmation that it is not launching at any point within the next 12 months. That just leaves. That just begs the question: when exactly will it be coming out?
I honestly, I can see November.
Yeah, the safest bet is holiday 2020, most likely, because at that point it will have been 7 years since the PS4 launched, and knowing Sony, that's usually right around the time when they release a new console, because there was 6 years between the PS2 and the PS3, 7 between PS3 and 4, so it seems about right.
Now, my question is, what's Xbox going to do to respond to this? Because the Xbox One X is, quite frankly, pretty damn powerful and would be comparable to a PS5.
The Xbox One X is currently officially confirmed the most powerful home console on the market right now. Microsoft has already come out and said they're working on the next one, and there have already been insider reports claiming that whatever they're working on is even more powerful than this. So,
which is easy to believe, because especially AMD and Nvidia are just going batshit crazy.
Yeah. And also because the One X just blew the PS4 Pro out of the water. Like, the two aren't even comparable.
The One X is just a beast of a fucking machine.
Mm-hmm. So, it just begs the question. Oh, go ahead.
To build a PC on par of the One X is going to cost you at least $1,000.
Yeah, like Microsoft shoved as much tech as they could into that box, and it shows. Like, the One X is easily the best console on the market right now. Like, sure, there aren't a whole lot of Xbox exclusives out right now, but if you just want something that's powerful that can play games really well, get a One X. Like, get all your multiplats on Xbox, because that thing is a fucking beast.
If you own a PC and you want your games to run at 60 FPS, get a One X.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of One X enhanced titles can run at full native 4K 60 frames. So, it's basically on par with a lot of higher end PCs.
Like, it's just 60 FPS is really nice to see.
I know there's a lot of people that don't care about performance all that much. We are some of the people that do. I would much prefer my games to run at 60 frames just because everything is way smoother. And a lot of people don't know that higher frame rates actually result in more responsive controls because there's less latency. So frame rate actually does matter, people. Resolution not so much, but frame rate does.
I could go on about 144 FPS, but that's not for a while on console.
Yeah, that's moving to a different realm.
That's just PC right now.
Yeah. But this news doesn't surprise me. I didn't expect it to be launching at all within the next year.
I didn't either. It doesn't feel like the PS4 released almost 7 years ago.
Yeah, 7 years ago next year. So
it's crazy to think.
Yeah, so like we said earlier, the safe bet is probably the holiday 2020. Best guess. Whenever the next Xbox will come out to coincide with that, who knows? Because we really haven't heard much about that at all. But it will be interesting to see how things progress from here, especially with E3 coming up.
Yes.
Because who knows if they're not going to actually show things off at E3. We'll just have to wait and see.
They might be able to.
But let's move on. We got some Square Enix news to cover very briefly. I'm going to start with the stuff that you don't care about. There was some new Kingdom Hearts news that came out just a few days ago. So, apparently there was this big world orchestra in Japan the past week for Kingdom Hearts. And at this orchestra, Tetsuya Nomura, the series director, came out and officially announced DLC is coming for Kingdom Hearts 3. So, let's read the article. Kingdom Hearts 3 game director Tetsuya Nomura appeared on stage during the Kingdom Hearts Orchestra World of Trays concert in Tokyo, Japan, to announce the Remind DLC. According to Twitter user Yanolin Gaming, the DLC will include an additional scenario titled Remind, 2 new episodes with new bosses, and an English voice option for the Japanese version of the game. In addition to the paid DLC, the game will be updated with a new Keyblade and form for free. Yanolin later added that more information about the DLC will be shared around June, which lines up with Square Enix's E3 show. This is, of course, off the cups of Square Enix releasing the Critical Mode update for Kingdom Hearts 3 that added Critical Mode, New Game Plus, and a bunch of other little details and new additions to the game. So, me, being the Kingdom Hearts guy, this is exciting. This is the first time in the entire series that there has been DLC for a Kingdom Hearts game. Because up until this point, most Kingdom Hearts games were either on last-gen hardware, where DLC wasn't possible, or on handhelds. And, of course, people are going to mention the final mixes, but those are entirely different games. Those are re-releases, not downloadable content. So this is going to be the first time that Kingdom Hearts has actual DLC. And I'm interested to see exactly what it's going to entail. As the article said, it includes 2 new episodes with new bosses. Exactly how much content they're going to add to the game in those 2 DLC episodes has yet to be seen. I guess we'll see more in June, as the article stated. Which leads us right into our next story. I segued perfectly into this. This coincides with Square Enix officially revealing the time and date of their E3 2019 conference. So, let's read this article. Square Enix has confirmed that its E3 2019 show will take place on Monday, June 10th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is the slot usually taken by Sony, because Sony opted out of E3 this year. That was confirmed months ago, so Square Enix is taking their spot. Sadly, the company didn't share any information about what it will be showing, but fans will be hoping for information about the Final Fantasy VII Remake, Crystal Dynamics Avengers game, and the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC. The show will be live streamed via Square Enix's official site. So that's interesting. A lot of people weren't expecting Square Enix to have a conference this year, because they had one last year, and it was
garbo?
Pretty garbo. It was only half an hour, and everything they showed was either stuff that we had already known about, and the few new things that they did announce either released to critical panning or have not had any follow-up information since. So it's going to be real interesting to see what they're going to do this year in the wake of last year's conference. The big question here, and I'm sure a lot of people are expecting this at this point, now that Kingdom Hearts 3 is officially out and done, are all hands on deck at Square Enix working on the Final Fantasy VII Remake?
I hope so.
I really do hope so, because we haven't had any information on that game for years at this point. The only trailer we've seen was the official announced trailer at E3 2015. It's already been 4 years since it was announced. That was the only time we had seen gameplay. And a few years after the fact, I think it was in 2017, correct me if I'm wrong there, they announced that they basically started over from scratch. Like, they scrapped everything. So, now that Kingdom Hearts 3 is done, a lot of people would assume that all hands are on deck working on Final Fantasy VII. Whether or not that's the case, we'll just have to wait for the E3 show to see. And of course, Crystal Dynamics Avengers project, which they announced years ago as well. And they're, again, something that hasn't had any concrete information since. So we'll just have to wait and see if this is actually a good conference or not. But again,
watch them announce Final Fantasy 17.
Yeah. Oh, God. But yeah, possibly having the Final Fantasy VII Remake, finally getting some new information, finally seeing the Avengers project, Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC, as well as some of the other stuff they announced last year that didn't get any follow-up, like that game that they're working on with Platinum. Like, show me more of that, please. And that will make this whole thing worth it. And again, we don't know exactly how long the conference is going to be because last year's was only half an hour. So it could be short, it could be a longer one. Again, we have to wait until E3 to find out.
Yes.
So let's move on from that. We're starting to taper down on these news stories. We only have a few left. Let's get some Nintendo news out of the way.
Ooh.
So, for months and months at this point, there have been tons of rumors and speculation that Nintendo is going to be releasing a couple new variations of the Nintendo Switch, a larger, more powerful Nintendo Switch Pro, and a more simplified Nintendo Switch Lite. We now have confirmation from Nintendo that they have no plans to announce any new hardware at E3. So, let's read the article. Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa revealed during the company's latest financial results that there are currently no plans to announce new hardware during E3 this year. As a general rule, we're always working on new hardware and we will announce it when we are able to sell it, but we have no plans to announce that at this year's E3 in June. Last month, a report surfaced claiming that Nintendo is planning on releasing 2 new Nintendo Switch models later this year. The first of these models is said to be a more powerful enhanced Switch, while the other is a cheaper Switch model that is seen as a replacement for the Nintendo 3DS. So yeah, what do you think about this, son? Do you think that these are still going to happen, even after these have basically been debunked for the time being?
I don't think they will. Because Nintendo's never done anything like that before in the past.
I mean,
there's been no...
Actually, they released a couple different variations of the Wii and the Wii U, so...
I guess. But they weren't enhanced with or more graphics or anything.
No, you're right. They were mostly just cosmetically different. So...
True. I think that would be kind of pointless, too. The Switch is pretty good as it is right now.
Yeah, honestly, I 100% agree with you. Like, sure, it's not as powerful as, say, the Xbox One or the PS4, but the stuff they've managed to get on this thing is really freaking impressive. Like,
and plus, I kind of don't want it more powerful, because that's what I have my PC for.
Yeah. And, like we said, like, the Switch is fine on its own. Like, you look at ports of, like, Doom and Wolfenstein and things like this. Like, these super high-fidelity games that they managed to get running on the Switch and running really damn well on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think we need a more powerful Switch right now. Like, the case in point, the most recent example was Mortal Kombat 11. Sure, the port isn't as good, and there are some varying degrees in terms of image quality. The resolution goes all over the place, but it runs at a rock solid 60 frames and it looks pretty damn good on top of that. So do we really need this?
No, we don't. Like, the Switch is a perfect side companion for a person. Mm-hmm. Like, it's my side companion for my computer,
and it's my side companion for my Xbox and my PS4.
So I honestly don't think we need a Switch Pro or a Switch Lite.
I could see them doing the Switch Lite, like the cheaper model, to... I could see them doing that on top. I could see them doing that instead of the Switch Pro, because having a cheaper alternative is always a good thing.
I could see them maybe releasing a Switch that doesn't come with a dock and it's just the Switch itself.
Yeah, I could see that would definitely cut down costs.
That could like make it like maybe like $300 instead of the $400.
Well, that's Canadian.
Just so people could, I guess. It's just they maybe could do a Switch Lite, but the problem is then it wouldn't be able to run all the games as well.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
I can see them trying to cut costs. It's just I don't know.
I can see them doing something to make a cheaper bundle, whether or not that be an entirely new Switch or just removing the dock and maybe the Joy-Con grip.
I think this is very all hearsay.
Yeah. And again, the entire story is that, hey, we're not announcing anything at E3. So if these things are actually happening, who knows when, right?
Yeah.
But let's move on.
Cool, but...
Sorry, go ahead.
It'd be cool, but it's unnecessary, basically.
Yeah, it is pretty unnecessary, especially when you have such high fidelity games getting ported to Switch, as good as they are. I don't think we need this right now.
Yeah.
But let's move on, segue directly into our second Nintendo story. Son, are you familiar with Super Mario Maker?
Yes.
Well, we just got confirmation a few days ago that Super Mario Maker 2 has an official release date.
Oh, that's cool.
So let's read the article. Nintendo has announced that Super Mario Maker 2 will arrive on Nintendo Switch on June 28th, 2019.
That's soon.
Yeah, it's pretty soon. Quote from Nintendo. This full-fledged sequel to the original groundbreaking Super Mario Maker game for the Wii U system lets your imagination run wild as you make and play your own Super Mario courses using new tools, items, and features. So,
cool.
That's basically the whole story. It's just, hey, it's coming out on June 28th. The question being, why didn't they just wait until E3 to announce that?
I still remember when Chitose got released for... I was like, no way. So the biggest thing I'm looking forward to see is like what other crossovers they can do with this.
Yeah. Like, Mario Maker was known for a ton of Easter eggs and little references, so...
Yeah.
Who knows what they're going to cram into this one. From what I've seen, it looks way more robust than anything that was in the original Mario Maker, so...
Intriguing.
So yeah, again, I just don't understand why they didn't wait until, like, the E3 Direct to announce this. Because it would have been like, hey, we're here. Remember Super Mario Maker 2? Yeah, that comes out in, like, 2 weeks.
Now, my question is, are they going to announce new Smash characters at the E3 Direct?
Oh, absolutely. I 100% believe that they're going to announce the next DLC fighters at E3.
When is there... I don't want to wait, man. I want to see who's next.
Yeah, I assume they're going to announce the next ones. I've seen rumors that they might announce the second and third one at E3.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. But yeah, Super Mario Maker 2 comes out June 28th. So if you're a big Mario Maker fan, look forward to that.
Hell yeah.
And our last two pieces of news are directly linked because they are both relating to Persona.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
The wonderful Persona news.
Mm-hmm. So we got teased all the way back at the end of March. Hey, we're gonna announce something big. Wait until the end of April. And then in the middle of that wait, they teased something that was called P5S. So everyone was like, "Oh, is this Persona 5 coming to Switch?" Kind of, but not really. Let's cover P5R first, and then we'll go into P5S. So, on April 24th, we officially got the first details on Persona 5 Royal. So let's read the article. Atlus officially unveiled Persona 5 Royal, an enhanced version of Persona 5, during the Persona Super Live P-Sound Street 2019 concert in Tokyo, Japan. According to the game's Japanese website, the upcoming enhanced release will introduce a new character named Kasumi Yoshizawa, who transferred to Shujin Academy the same year Joker moved to Tokyo and is not a fan of the Phantom Thieves' methods. There's also a new confidant called Takuto Maruki, a part-time school counselor who was hired after events involving a teacher at the academy. Other things include a new area to explore called Kichijoji, new date spots, new songs, a third semester at Shujin Academy, and support for PlayStation 4 Pro. Atlus also revealed a new trailer for Persona 5 Royal that offers a brief look at some of these new additions. Persona 5 Royal launches on October 31st, 2019 for PlayStation 4 in Japan, with a Western release to follow sometime in 2020. So... the one time we have big Persona news, Spencer is nowhere to be found.
This also just makes me mad. They can't release it on PC, man.
I mean...
it's just... think of the money and think of all the people.
I mean, like I said to you when this came up, if it gets released on Switch, you can still play it. So...
yeah, but like... I'm a PC man.
I love my Switch, don't get me wrong, but I would prefer it on PC.
So it's just a preference thing.
Yes.
Okay. Well, relating to P5R, it looks like they're really adding a lot of new shit to this game. Like, it looks completely different. The biggest thing that I wanted to mention was there were some screenshots of a new human character that looks... There's some relations to a character in the game. Spoilers for anyone who hasn't played Persona 5. There's a character called Morgana. He's a cat, and in Persona 5, he doesn't get a human form. There's this entire arc where he's not sure if he's human or not. By the end of the game, he doesn't get a human form. But they released new screenshots for P5R showing this new human character hanging out with Joker, who looks strangely similar to a human version of Morgana. And the thing that tipped me off, and a lot of other people off, was he's wearing this weird necklace that looks like Morgana's collar. So everyone assumes that Morgana is going to get a... Thank you. Thank you very much. But everyone assumes that Morgana is going to get a human form in P5R. On top of all this new shit that they're adding, like a third semester at Shujin, new areas, new confidants, things like that. It looks pretty cool. I think they should release this on Switch as well, but whatever. That was relegated to P5S, which was revealed the day after all the Persona 5 Royal stuff came out. And it was nothing what anyone expected it to be. So let's read this article. Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Strikers, announced for PS4 and Switch. Atlus has partnered with Koei Tecmo and Dynasty Warriors developer Omega Force to create Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Strikers, a Musou game set in the Persona 5 universe. In the debut trailer for the game, we see Persona 5 protagonist Joker taking on numerous enemies with the help of his persona Arsene. We also get a brief look at a new female character. Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Strikers is in development for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch, but a release date has not been announced. So needless to say, the internet was not happy about this.
A lot of people were not happy about it.
Tons of people were not happy about this because they hyped this up for weeks. Like, oh, P5S announcement coming April 25th, get ready. And everyone just assumed, oh, Joker's coming to Switch, P5S. I mean, Joker's coming to Smash, P5S. It just seemed incredibly likely that it was going to be Persona 5 finally ported to the Switch. Nope, yeah. You get a Warriors game. And it's
not even called a Warriors game. It's like, not even, like, it doesn't have Warriors at the end.
Yeah, honestly, they should have named it Persona 5 Warriors and named it P5W, and that would have been a lot better, and it wouldn't have misled people. But this is just the weirdest shit, dude. Like, no one was expecting this, and like, I'm sure the game's going to be great because, you know, we talked about Warriors games earlier in the podcast. Regardless of the Warriors game, it's always quality. So it's going to be a good game. Yeah. It's just, no one was expecting this and everyone was angry about it.
Yeah.
This just begs the question, will P5 eventually come to Switch? Because this doesn't deconfirm anything. P5 could come to Switch at some point. Now it's just a matter of when will that happen, if it does.
Yeah. Sony needs to stop hogging all the good game.
It's just really weird, dude. Like,
they need to share the love.
Yeah. Again, like I just said, this doesn't deconfirm anything. Persona 5 for Switch is still very likely. We just have to wait a little bit longer.
Who knows? Maybe at E3 they'll be like, guess what, bitches?
Yeah, who knows? It could be part of the E3 Direct. Like, just like, hey, Persona 5 for Switch. Here it comes.
It's coming to Switch, Xbox One X, and Steam.
I don't know about that. But...
Let a man dream. Let a man dream.
Okay, I will let you dream, you delusional boy. But yeah, with that said, that's pretty much all the news that we have to cover today. So,
damn.
Like I said, very quick and easy podcast. We're just about at an hour here. Not a lot to talk about. Again, it's been pretty slow lately. But the stuff that we did cover was actually pretty interesting. So,
yeah.
With that being said, I think we can wrap things up here. Thank you very much for watching another exciting installment of the Bearded Banter Podcast. If you like what you've seen, you can subscribe to BGN for more great gaming content. We do gaming videos, unboxings, let's plays, podcasts, all that good shit. I have been your host, Shane, the Bearded One. You can follow me on Twitter at BeardedGamingN, where I post all of the news about BGN, as well as other dumb shit relating to video games, anime, movies, a lot of memes. With me is my son, my co-host for the day, Josh. You can find him on Twitter at Weeb Machine Reborn, where he beeps and boops the night away.
Yeah, I haven't posted in a while, but you know, I post time to time.
Yeah, if you want to see his controversial takes on beeps and boops, go follow him on Twitter.
Give me I'm a part-time sage, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I work as a part-time sage, you know, dishing out some sagey advice.
Oh, that's interesting. Good for you.
Yeah, such as great sage advice such as beep.
Honestly, words to live by.
Really deep, really just digs into the soul, man.
Just super deep analytical stuff.
Oh yeah.
With that being said, we're going to wrap things up here. Thank you very much for watching another installment of the Bearded Banter Podcast, and we will be back in 2 weeks for another episode. So keep on gaming, everyone. We'll see you then.
Bye-bye.